Hello, my creative besties. How are you doing tonight? It is Friday Eve. Can I get a thumbs up for that? Yay! It has been a long week. But we are going to go ahead and do some easy cards. They're kind of going to be quick. We're going to have to do a little fussy stuff to them, but it won't be too awful bad. Here, we're not going to do all of these, I don't think, but here's where we start. We're going to start on this one, and the Sending Sunshine and All the Good Feelings Your Way is actually one stamp. We're just cutting it up. And then we have this, not really sure what happened there. Maybe my internet went a little wonky. Sorry. But we have a nice thank you card. It's very manly, I think. You know, got some fall colors. It's manly. And then who does not need a hip, 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 hip. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And then I'm just so happy for you. And then this one, I'm just going to tell you a story about this one when we do it. You're on my mind and in my heart. So let's go ahead and get started. The key to what we're doing tonight is actually called masking, where you take some Scotch tape or some Post-it notes or something like that, and you mask off parts of the stamp set. So the main stamp set that we're going to be working with is called Good Feelings. It is a red rubber, and you can see we're going to kind of like cut up part of these stamps and use for our cards. We're also going to bring in some of the stamps from the Hello Ladybug. And then for one of our cards, we're going to bring in one of the sentiments from the Season of Chic and the leaves. And the dies that I used were these stylish shaped dies. I'm sure I've showed them to you before. They're one of my favorites. They are just quite useful. They have various circles and squares and then banners. Very useful. So, to go ahead and save time, I've actually die cut out everything that we need. So we can go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, let's go ahead and do the Sending Sunshine Your Way. Let me find that card real quick. I really did try to be organized today, unlike the other day. All right, so here is the Sunshine one. We have our card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And where's our sample? I lost it already. Here's our sample for y'all to see. Hello, Dora. How you doing tonight? Is it cold enough for you? I'm kind of already over being cold. So what we're going to do on this is our stamp. And what we're going to do is, I've done it already because it is a little tedious and time consuming, is I have used Scotch tape to mask off and Good Feelings Your Way. So you can tell I have all this messy stuff going on. So the first part we're going to do is I'm going to take this off, but I need to save it for when I do the bottom part. Oh, all right. And then, where's my block? I'm going to put this on my block and my black ink. With a big stamp like this, I go ahead and I do it where the ink goes down to the stamp itself, making sure I got it all on there. Now you can see I have gotten ink on my tape. That's going to be okay because I'm going to go ahead and peel that right off. And it looks like I did pretty good. Might have just a little bit of ink there. And yeah, I am using my finger. All right, so this is the wrong one. Oh no. All right, fall back and punt. I've done messed it up already. I thought I had the right one. Well, Let's see. I don't. So we're going to see if we can get this one on here. Oh, I thought I had everything all prepared. Oh well. And my embossing machine that cuts is in the other room. All right. I do not guarantee this is going to work on a smaller square, but we're going to try. This is what happens. Okay, it's not awful. There is stuff there because I did not get a good clean inking, or should I say masking of that. It's going to be okay. I am not going to stress out about it. It is what it is. So we have that. And now we need to go ahead and tape up the Sending Sunshine so that we can ink up the bottom. All right. Again, taking ink to the stamp, not the stamp to the ink, and then take off our tape. And you know what? Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have washed my stamp. Now let's go ahead. I am sorry if we keep having internet issues. I really don't know what's going on. I do live in the country. It does get kind of a little crazy out here. All right, I think that's how it went down. All right, let's try this one again. Making sure all of it is inked. Now, all right, let's see. Oh, I didn't clean it good enough. You can see I'm getting halo on my sample. It wasn't that way, but we're going to continue on. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the back, or excuse me, this layer to the cardstock. I could probably find some embellishments to cover that up. We'll put this right here. And of course, what I should have done before I put that down was what I should have stamped the little flowers from the ladybug. But I forgot about that. All right, let's close up the black one because you know my fingers will be all in the ink. All right, so we're using Starry Sky, and we're just gonna go ahead and put them, making sure to rotate our stamp. And we're gonna have to wash that off. And now we need to go ahead and cut out our daisies. And we need 2 of the daisies. This is our, do y'all see this? Oh my stars. I am one messy, messy, messy stamper. And it's both sides. It is both sides. I hope y'all get as messy as I do when you craft, because I can sure make a mess. All right. That was pretty easy, and what we're going to go ahead and do is use some liquid. I cannot believe I just did that, y'all. I went to shake it up. It is behind my desk. Wow, this live is really turning out to be pretty awesome, don't you think? So we're gonna really punt on this because I kind of needed that glue. We're just gonna put some adhesive in the middle like that, and then we're gonna find our little center of the flower stamp. We're just gonna hit that with some Starry Sky real quick. See, this card is not my greatest accomplishment, but that's going to be okay. And then if I had some dimensionals, which I knew I had, but apparently they also did not make it into my bucket. I really don't know how I got myself prepared for any of this. And here I thought I had everything I needed. Well, if I was prepared, I would put that up on dimensionals. And, well, it would look better up here. I'm going to use it to cover up most of my oops that we had. I'm going to close this up. Then what we're going to do is take our Wink of Stella, and we are going to hit, just draw a little line of Wink of Stella over each petal of the daisy, and a little bit in the middle, and then I just did a little bit of Wink of Stella right there on those blue flowers. And apparently I have some hair there. And on the inside, I need to get my stamp back out and do a little row of some flowers. Okay, here we go. More random flowers. Oh my word. I twisted that when I lifted it up. Oh, I was able to save that one. I can't believe I could save that one. Oh, that is quite the little miracle there. And pop a little one there. All right, so this first card, with all of its problems and my inky fingers, is done. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and put some Wink of Stella on the inside like I did. So we used our daisy down here to cover up my oops, and I should have stamped the flowers here before I adhered it down. But, so there's our first card. And then our second one, let's see, what is our second one? Not that one. Our second one is this one. It is the Thank You, which actually does not need to have any, excuse me, does not need to have any masking off of the sentiment, which is probably a good thing. I'm going to put that on here. And my goal is to have these be like a diamond, and then have this one also be like a diamond, and to stamp that in the middle. And I think on this one I used Early Espresso because that is a dark, rich, like chocolate color. It does almost look black, but it is not black, but it really is dark like black. So now not too bad. I might redeem myself with this card. That would be great. All right, so we're going to go ahead and, well, if I had my dimensionals out here, I would put the white sentiment on dimensionals and then attach it to the crumb cake cardstock. But I don't. So we are just going with it. So what is the weather like where you guys are? It has gotten just a little chilly down here, but where I'm from, my hometown, has gotten some snow. Okay. Do not want any of it. Now here I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of the classic matte dots, and I decided to go ahead and use the like cream colored ones. I just thought it fit better. And then a big one up here. And I think this would be a great card for a man. You could change out the sentiment. You could make it birthday. You could make thinking of you. And there's card number 2. Now, the other card I was going to make for you guys is this hip, 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 hooray. And we are, again, using this particular ink pad. And here is our hip, hip, and here is our hooray. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and stamp our hooray on the inside. And nope, wrong one. I don't want the hip hip, I want the hooray. Okay. You could do these all in a straight line. You could do them offset like I've done. You could just do one hooray. The choice is totally yours. And now, let's go ahead and clean that really quick. We are going to do, let's see. I have cut out the circle, the square, and the banner. So, let's see, I need to sit down for a moment. Let's see about getting these stamped. Now we don't have to, with our hip hip, we do not need to mask off. However, I thought of something and of a different way to do this particular one, and we are going to mask off. Now, when I did this, when I was creating the sample, I did go ahead and stamp and then die cut out, but for time's sake, tonight I wanted to go ahead and do the die cutting out because sometimes it can take a little minute here. All right, so what I thought would be kind of cool is I have these a little square, a little circle, and a bigger square. So I thought it would be kind of interesting to see what it would look like if we went ahead and just did one hip. There's one hip, and let's see. And yes, I am just reusing the same tape on this one. Oops, got a little off on that hip going on there. That happens. And then let's see, how about this hip? Okay, that one doesn't look too bad. Put our tape out of the way. What would also be cool on this is if you were to like take some bright spongy ink and ink these up and then stamp the hip hip. That would be kind of cool too. I think that would be great for a man's card. All right, now the smidge on the TD really quick. We're going to take these little dots here out of the Ladybug set. It's the little dots. Little dots. And I'm going to randomly stamp these, kind of twisting the stamp. I guess it doesn't make a lot of difference, but we're gonna just randomly do it. Y'all, can you believe next Thursday, a week from tonight, is Thanksgiving? Guess who has not gotten their turkey? Oh, that's right. That would be me. But my goal tomorrow night after work is to acquire Birdzilla, because we need to have our bird. So we could go ahead and do the hip hip like I did in the sample. And I was trying to be, you know, just jazzed up a little bit, turning it to the side. Or we could do the hip, like that with the squares and the banners. Or we could do it with the little squares. So we could do either one. I think tonight we're just going to go ahead. I wanted to see what they would look like, and I think it would make a cute card. So I think right now we're going to go ahead and just adhere our circle and square and banner down. And on this, I like to put the banner down first, kind of like in the center. I think that's straight. I'm not totally positive. Again, in the sample, this is up on dimensionals, and I apparently forgot my dimensionals. So now I feel that we could use a few more of the little dots. So we're just going to add a couple more. And one more over here. All right. So then we are closing up this ink pad, y'all. Closing it up. And now we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card base, and card number 3 will be done. Now, I did not add any embellishments to this, but you certainly can. You know, probably any color. You could add some of the classic MAC dots that we just had for the other card, or you could add something with some sparkle. You could change out the background color. You could even make, you could probably go ahead and not stamp on this banner, but, you know, put some ribbon around it and kind of like tie it for a bow. So there is card number 3. Now let's go ahead and work on this card. Pretty similar to the first one that we did. I have already gone ahead and masked off the sentiment for us. And let's see, what have we got here? We need to definitely, how about we go ahead, before we do our sentiment, how about we go ahead and stamp our Daisy from the Hello Ladybug. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that in the Magenta Madness. It is a retired ink. I don't have any other really good pinks. I don't think I have any other pinks at all. So I really wanted to bring out some pink. And this was all I had. Just didn't have anything else. sometimes you just have to use what you have, and that's the situation I was in. Now, what we need to do is, by the way, I had a couple extras, so I put a little daisy on the inside. You know what? I think that piece is going to be a little too small. So let's go ahead and stamp our daisy over here. And we're going to stamp 2 of them with the ink. All right. And now we're going to close this up. And let's go ahead and take our daisy stamp, line it up. You know, I'm really regretting having flung that liquid glue. Oh well. And then we're going to stamp or punch out 2 more of the daisies, just like that. So what we need now is my adhesive, which is right here. And let's see, where are my pink ones? Okay. So we're going to do pink one there. I'm going to try to line it up. This is where the liquid glue would really come in handy. Have y'all seen the little thing going around Facebook? You know, what's on your table at Thanksgiving? Do you have turkey and ham and all that? And one of my friends from Texas, she commented on mine, and she did her own little, you know, this is what there is for Thanksgiving. I had never in my entire life heard of this. Apparently there are some people in some areas of the country where they put hard-boiled eggs in. Are you serious? Never. I was like, I don't think I'd like that. Okay, so on this one, I'm just so happy for you. We only need to do the I'm just. So I'm going to take off and save. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm going to take off the I'm just. Save that. Put this on here. And yeah, I used black on this one. I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to peel this off once I can find it. There it is. And then we're going to, forgive me if you see my head. I'm hoping this fits because it did on the other one. Fingers crossed. It fit, and I got a little halo. Ugh. And my J wasn't perfect. And you know what I have to tell myself? This is not Hallmark. This is handmade. So now we're going to come in and we're going to put this down right over there. And we're going to open up our sample because we want that in the inside. Here is our blank one. We want to make sure that we got lots of ink on this one. And we're going to tear that off. Oh. Yes, tonight is not a stellar stamping night. And that's going to be okay. I have ink all over my hands. I'm getting halos all over the place. Let's go ahead and add in one of our daisies to the inside while we're here. Wish I could cover it up like that, but I can't. Just gonna add it here. And what we're gonna do while we're here is we're just gonna hit the parts of the daisy that we stamped in the magenta with some Wink of Stella. Add a little bit of sparkle there. I mean, who doesn't like sparkle? I love me some sparkle. All right, let's go ahead and add our sentiment right here. And where is our, again, if I had my dimensionals out, the daisy would be up on dimensionals. It's not, and it's gonna be okay. But I am going to strategically place the daisy right there so that it covers up my little boo-boo. See, everything is cover-upable, right? Except for that. All right, so here we go. Over here, we're gonna put this on the front, and then we are going to get out our Wink of Stella. We're gonna hit this daisy. You know, I did not put any bling, any rhinestones, embellishments on this, but you certainly can. You know, it would be really cute to add little rhinestones to the middle of these daisies. Speaking of the middle, I kind of forgot to hit them. All right, and there is card number 4 with issues, but it is a card that I will still send out. All right, and our last card came about as a happy little oops, because I had cut the big square for this card out of this paper, and it was on my desk, and I kept looking at it. I'm like, surely I can use that for something. So I just cut it down a little bit, and I went, huh, okay, kind of like make it like a little picture, a little frame. So I just stamped part of my sentiment on my actual card base, used that as a frame, and then I had, because I had used the sentiment, oh, not this one, because I had used the sentiment from Season of Chic, I saw that I had these extra leaves already done. I was like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. Now, I don't know, I think it's just me that when I have something come together, like the leaves, I have to be able to like cover them up with something. Well, also within this pile of leaves, I had this pitiful little ribbon that I had cut in half and it's frayed, and I had tried to color it, and I was like, okay, hey, it adds some texture, a little bit more dimension to the card. I was like, okay, it's just gonna work. And then I put a little tiny black matte dot on there. So we're gonna go ahead and recreate this card with our final stamp. And yes, I did use the back side of some paper. Oh, and when I was making this, I ended up tearing it. Now, the big issue you're going to have with this particular one is getting it lined up, because I did not want to adhere my frame down, but I wanted to get your On My Mind in there. So it was kind of a little challenge. So we're going to take off the top part of our tape. Oops. Wow. How many things could go wrong in one Facebook Live? I hope y'all are not keeping track. I really hope you're not keeping track. Now, if you do this masking with this particular set, be mindful of the dot for the I in, that it gets covered up when you need it covered up. All right, so I am going to bring in All right, that's where I want it. Whew. I was a little nervous on that one, y'all, just a little nervous. All right, so now we need to cover up. You're in my mind. Oops. Need to make sure I have it going the right way. Definitely want the eye, the dot of the eye uncovered this time, so it can get inked up. This, and I can tell I did not get one of those letters. Y'all, did you see what I just did? Oh my stars. I do not have any extra paper with me. I cannot believe I did that. Oh my word. Well, this is real life. So if I was in my craft room, I'd get another piece of paper. But I'm not in my craft room, and I don't have any extra paper with me. Even though I brought my cutter, I just don't have any extra paper with me. But guess what? I have a leaf. And guess what that leaf can do? That leaf can go right there. Yes, people. I appreciate y'all watching me, because I am just a mess. Well, hello, Amy. Oh, yeah, I hope nobody keeps track of mistakes either, because Lord knows this particular live, I have had, what, I think I've had a mistake on every single one, and now I'm all inky. Oh, my word. Do you all see this? Okay, this is our last card, and then we're done. You're thinking, yay, she's done. Oh, my word. Oh. So if I had my glue, I could glue around there. But, you know, if you're tuning in now, you might have missed that. When I went to shake up my glue, it literally went flying. And it is now behind my desk on the floor, where I will have to get on my hands and knees to retrieve it. So we are just going to do the best that we can with this. And let's see, we're gonna line this up. And I'm sure I probably had a dimensional or two going on with this. So let's see. Yes, I'm trying to cover up some mistakes. Can you tell? It looks kind of bad if I do it that way. All right, so we're gonna do it this way. And put our middle one down. And then other one. And let's see, oops, a little too crooked. And it's still a little too crooked, but that's okay. And then here we go. And now we are going to use this ribbon. This is the natural woven ribbon, and I've tied a very loose knot in it. I have gone ahead and used Crushed Curry, Mossy Meadow, and Sierra Sand on this. It is a different ribbon than on my sample. The best way to attach this is with some glue dots. And I used a number of glue dots on my sample one, just because I really wanted to make sure that it would stick. And of course it is sticking right to my fingers. I am a tractor of glue dots and ink, but came together. So, and here are my ribbon scissors. And with this particular ribbon, you really want to go, I think, straight across, because it does fray. And the black dot we are literally almost done. I've used a very little one in the middle just to, you know, I don't know, add something to it. Oh, and I did use Wink of Stella on these leaves. And on my sample, it was a happy little accident because the Wink of Stella ended up making the ink kind of blend out a little bit, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen that happen on any of the projects I've used Wink of Stella on. So it was a happy little thing. And I think we'll hit this one. Oh my, we might have to add a couple more leaves before I send this out to anybody to cover up all of my little boo-boos. I had some boo-boos. And here you go. I don't know how y'all managed to stay with me as I blundered all of the cards. That's the last card we made. And here's the sample. And then here is the pink one. And here is the manly thank you one, which, because I had made this card, gave me what I needed to make this card, which was, again, a happy little accident. Our hip hip hooray, and then our sending sunshine. So now y'all know how to use your stamps and mask them off. And just be sure you have baby wipes or some kind of something to get all of the ink off your fingers before you attempt to put anything down. But let me know what your favorite card was. I'd appreciate it. Hey, Charlene, I miss you too. Don't you have a birthday coming up next month? Let's see. Well, Amy, please don't keep a track of my mistakes. It's been an interesting live. So thank you all for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And if you have any constructive criticism, please share it with me. It would be great. Thank you, and happy Friday tomorrow. Bye.